Have you ever, just wished you could tell a computer, your idea for a poem, or even, a painting, or a whole music video even, and have it, instantly appear?
It really is like magic, isn't it?
We're not quite there yet.
Except instead of spells.
But today's deep dive is all about how close we're getting. We're talking generative AI, the tech that's kind of turning words into reality, at least in the digital world.
We're using algorithms and data. And what's fascinating is that these AI models are learning to be creative in a way that kind of mimics human cognition, at least to some extent.
Okay, so before we get too far, let's unpack that a bit. When we say generative AI, what are we actually talking about? I mean, I've played around with those AI image generators online, but is that all there is to it?
That's a great place to start, actually, because those image generators, as fun as they are, represent just one slice of this rapidly evolving field.
Okay.
At its core, generative AI is about teaching computers to create something new, whether that's a piece of text, an image, or even music, based on the patterns and relationships they've learned from massive amounts of data.
So it's like showing an AI a million paintings and then saying, okay, now paint me something new, but in the style of Van Gogh or something like that.
Exactly. And the results can be incredibly sophisticated. One type of model that's particularly good at this is called a generative adversarial network, or GAN for short.
GAN. Sounds intense.
It kind of is. Imagine two AI artists battling it out. One trying to create a realistic image, let's say, and the other constantly critiquing it, trying to spot the flaws. This back and forth, this constant push and pull forces the AI to improve, much like friendly rivalry between human artists.
So it's like having a built-in art critic that never sleeps. No wonder these AIs are creating such impressive stuff. And it's not just images. We're seeing incredible breakthroughs in AI text generation as well. You've probably heard of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Who hasn't? It's like the rock star of the AI world right now.
Rightfully so. What sets ChatGPT apart is its ability to hold a conversation, to understand context, and respond in a way that feels almost human.
Wow.
And a big part of that is how it's trained, using a combination of supervised and reinforcement learning techniques.
Okay, break that down for me. I'm all for learning, but sometimes those technical terms make my head spin a little bit.
Think of it like this. Imagine ChatGPT's education in two phases.
Okay.
First, it has a very strict teacher, drilling in grammar rules, vocabulary, sentence structure. That's the supervised learning part. Then it gets paired with a more relaxed coach, someone who helps it refine its communication style, making it more adaptable and conversational. That's the reinforcement learning aspect.
So it's not just mimicking, it's learning to adapt and improve based on feedback.
Precisely. It's like learning to play an instrument.
Right.
You start with the basics, then you practice and get feedback, and eventually you develop your own style. And this adaptability has led to some, shall we say, eyebrow-raising results. Did you know that ChatGPT-4 recently scored in the top 10% of test takers on a simulated U.S. bar exam?
Wait, seriously, the bar exam? So this AI isn't just writing poems and scripts, it's crafting legal arguments. Okay, that's both impressive and a little intimidating. But if I wanted to actually use ChatGPT, say, to help me write a blog post, how do I make sure I'm getting the best results?
Ah, the art of crafting the perfect prompt. It's essential to remember that while AI is powerful, it's still just a tool.
Right.
It needs clear instructions to understand what you want. It's like talking to a very literal genie. If you're not specific, you might not like what you get.
I can relate to that. So how do we avoid any monkey's paw situations with AI? What's the secret to giving it the right instructions?
One effective method is the what, why, how limit approach.
Okay, I love a good framework. Give me an example.
Let's say you need a tagline for a new brand of organic coffee.
Perfect. I drink a lot of coffee.
The what is your basic request? Write a tagline for a new brand of organic coffee. The why provides context. The target audience is environmentally conscious millennials. The how sets the style. Make it catchy and memorable using no more than 5 words. And finally, the limit helps avoid cliches. Avoid cliches like the best brew.
That's actually super helpful. I can see how that would give the AI a much clearer picture of what you want. I'm already thinking of ways to use this for my to-do list. But what about AI for images? We've all seen those turn your words into art websites, but is it really that simple?
It can be deceptively simple, which is part of the appeal.
Right.
But like any creative tool, there's a learning curve to mastering it.
Yeah.
And that starts with understanding the difference between AI generating a whole new image from scratch and AI editing an existing one. Both are incredibly powerful, but achieve very different things.
I admit I've mostly seen the mind-blowing stuff, turning a doodle into a photorealistic masterpiece,
Right.
sort of thing.
That's generation, and it is amazing. But the editing capabilities are just as impactful, even if they seem less flashy. We're talking about removing unwanted objects, extending backgrounds to fit specific dimensions.
Wait, like magically making that photo I took fit perfectly for the website banner?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it goes even further, seamlessly swapping faces in photos, for example.
Okay, now that is cool. But regardless of whether we're talking about generating or editing, prompting is still key, right?
Absolutely. The more descriptive your language, the better.
Okay.
A simple prompt like, a cat wearing a hat, sitting on a stack of books, will get you a decent result.
Yeah.
But if you want something truly unique, you need to get specific.
Like telling it to use a specific art style. Because who hasn't wanted a family portrait in the style of Monet, or even better, a Van Gogh twist on a landscape photo? Possible with AI.
Absolutely. Imagine typing a photorealistic image of a tabby cat wearing a miniature top hat, perched precariously on a tower of worn, leather-bound books. Use dramatic lighting and a shallow depth of field.
You're essentially directing a photo shoot with words.
That is next level. It's
Yeah.
almost like unlocking a whole new type of creative language.
And that's what's so exciting. It's about this partnership between human creativity and AI's ability to process and execute in ways we never could before.
Speaking of partnerships, I read a fascinating anecdote about a designer who initially struggled with AI. They felt like their skills were becoming obsolete, but then
They realized AI wasn't a replacement, but a powerful new tool. It's like the invention of the printing press. Did it replace the art of calligraphy?
right.
No. It made it possible to share knowledge and ideas in entirely new ways. Right. AI can help us work faster and try new things, but that core human element, that spark of an idea, knowing what resonates emotionally, that's still where the magic happens. Which actually makes me wonder, this isn't just about professional creatives, is it? What about those of us who, shall we say, have more enthusiasm than raw talent? Can AI help us tap into our creative potential, even if we're not, say, the next Picasso or Hemingway?
Absolutely. One of the most exciting aspects of generative AI is its potential to democratize creativity. It can help us overcome technical hurdles, explore different styles, and experiment without fear of failure. It's like having a personal creative coach who never gets tired of your what-if questions.
I love that a coach who never judges your terrible first drafts. But seriously, this idea of AI helping us discover hidden talents, that's powerful.
It is. Imagine someone who's always wanted to write but struggles with grammar or structuring a story. AI can help them get those ideas down, refine the language, and even suggest plot twists they might not have considered.
Okay, my inner novelist is officially intrigued. But, let's shift gears a bit. We've talked a lot about the how of generative AI, but what about the why now? Why is this suddenly such a big deal?
That's a great question. Several factors have come together to create this perfect storm of AI innovation.
Okay.
First, the availability of massive data sets. This is crucial for training these complex models. We've never had so much data to work with before. Second, advancements in computing power have made it possible to process this data at speeds that were unthinkable just a few years ago.
It's like we finally have the ingredients and the superpowered oven to bake this AI cake. What about the icing on the cake?
The icing on the cake is this surge in research and development in the field of AI, with companies like OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft investing heavily in pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
So it's this confluence of data, power, and innovation that's driving this AI revolution. But it's not just happening in a vacuum, right? What are the real-world implications of all this?
This is where we start to see the ripple effects across multiple industries.
Yeah.
In marketing, for example, AI is being used to generate personalized content, craft compelling ad copy, and even create targeted product recommendations.
So no more generic ads that miss the mark.
Exactly.
Sign me up. What about other industries?
In education, AI can create personalized learning experiences, adapt to individual student needs, and even provide feedback on writing assignments.
Okay, that's amazing. Imagine getting personalized tutoring from an AI that's analyzed thousands of essays and knows exactly how to help you improve.
Precisely. And in healthcare, AI is being used to analyze medical images, assist with diagnoses, and even personalized treatment plans.
Wow, so it's not just about making our lives more convenient, it's about improving outcomes in fields that really matter. This is incredible.
It is. Generative AI is already having a profound impact on our world, and we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
This has been an amazing conversation so far. I, for one, am very excited to see what the future holds for generative AI and how it will continue to influence our world. You know, it's funny to think that just a few years ago, like, the idea of AI creating art or writing poetry, it seemed like something out of a science fiction novel.
Right.
And now we're having conversations about AI lawyers and personalized AI tutors. It really does feel like we're on the cusp of something truly groundbreaking.
We are, and the pace of innovation is only accelerating. One area that's particularly exciting is the development of multimodal AI.
Multimodal AI. Okay, I'm going to need you to break that one down for me.
It's simpler than it sounds. Essentially, it just means AI models that can understand and generate content across different modalities.
Okay.
Text, images, audio, even video.
Wait, AI that can create videos, is that even possible?
It's not just possible, it's already happening. Imagine typing a majestic eagle soaring over snow-capped mountains with the dramatic sunset in the background and having the AI generate a short, incredibly realistic video of that exact scene.
You're kidding. So instead of just getting a still image, I could get like a whole animated scene? That's incredible. It's like giving Spielberg a run for his money. But seriously, what are the real-world implications of this kind of technology? Like, what could you actually do with it?
The possibilities are really endless. For filmmakers, it means being able to visualize complex scenes and special effects without the need for expensive sets or CGI.
Right.
Imagine being able to prototype an entire action sequence with AI-generated footage before even stepping foot on set.
That would be a game changer for sure, for indie filmmakers especially. What about other fields?
For advertisers, it means creating personalized video ads that resonate with specific audiences. Imagine a world where the ads you see online are not only tailored to your interests, but are also visually engaging and unique, even entertaining.
So no more cheesy stock footage that everyone's seen a million times. Yes, please. Okay, this is blowing my mind. I need a minute to process this. You're telling me we're on the verge of a world where AI can not only write a script, but also direct and produce, like, the entire movie.
We're getting closer every day. And it's not just about entertainment. Think about the potential in education. Imagine a history lesson that includes a video of Julius Caesar addressing the Roman Senate, all generated by AI. Or a science class, where students can interact with virtual lab simulations that feel incredibly lifelike.
That would make learning so much more engaging, for sure. But with all this talk of AI's creative potential, I think we do have to address the elephant in the room, right? What about the concerns? We've talked a lot about, like, the power of AI, but what about the risks?
You're right to bring that up. Every powerful tool comes with responsibility, and AI is no exception. As we navigate this new frontier of AI-generated content, we need to be mindful of its potential impact on our world. And that includes addressing concerns about bias and misuse.
For listeners, as we wrap up our deep dive into generative AI, we leave you with this final thought. This technology is still in its infancy, but it's evolving rapidly. The choices we make now will shape how AI integrates into our lives. How will you choose to use it? What will you create? We can't wait to see what the future holds.